Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to show you some of the items from Spring-Summer 2024 collection that I actually picked up at Hermès boutique when I was shopping at Istanbul airport. I filmed a separate video about my shopping, so I'm going to make sure to actually link it here at the end of this video. Now this video is actually dedicated to the pieces that I decided to buy, and I'm going to talk a little bit about pricing, sizing, and also quality of these items and why I've made these particular choices. So the item number one that I have right here is actually the swimsuit from Hermès. This is the swimsuit in Rouge de Turon color that is quite prominent this season. I also covered this swimsuit in a lot of detail when I was actually filming the video at the boutique, but I'm going to once again just show you the swimsuit right here. So, you got the bikini bottoms with this, wonderful plastic, but nice looking plastic orange Hermès detail. And then you also obviously got the top. Once again, it has the plastic detail right here as well in the middle, and I can include some close-up shots of the swimsuit as well. I actually bought, the swimsuit is, by the way, made in France. For those of you who do not know, you would notice that Hermès pieces are actually made in different countries. So some of them are made in France, some in Italy, some in the UK, and I'm going to mention this as I go through. I actually bought size 40, which is a little bit large because I usually wear size 38 French, and this is size 40 French. But for a swimsuit, I just felt it fit a little bit better. Now, a couple of other notes. It does come with two separate inserts for the bikini top. I think this is really a nice touch because, depending on your comfort levels and, just your biology as well and etc., this could be just really nice to have, and I appreciate this extra touch. They come in their own pouch, which obviously is also very nice because in that case you can put something like this just in your beach bag and these things are not going to be just flying around. So this is a nice touch. And as you know, also Hermès swimsuits come in this kind of separate pouch of their own as well, and the pouch inside is actually coated with some kind of lining that makes it, I do not want to say that it's completely waterproof, but it makes it maybe a little bit more waterproof. So the pouch itself, once again, doesn't get wet on the outside, and then this moisture doesn't spill out, doesn't affect maybe the beach bag that you're using for that particular day. Or maybe you're using the swimsuit for a spa, and you can put something like this very easily, maybe even into a work tote without worrying that then the wetness from the swimsuit is actually going to ruin your tote. Now, in no particular order, the second item that I want to talk about here is this cashmere sweater. This is very classic looking cashmere sweater from Hermès. The front here is the H-lift sort of embroidery detail, which is tone on tone, which I think makes it look very much, quite luxury, for lack of a better word. This is actually made in the United Kingdom because the sweater is made out of 100% Scottish cashmere. And I will include the pricing below. But I think if you compare the pricing of Hermès cashmere with, for example, Brunello Cucinelli or Loro Piana, something like this, this is obviously a much, much more reasonably priced, let's say, piece of clothing. Now, in this sweater, I actually bought size 42 French, which is a little large. I was quite surprised. And I will include some of the videos of me trying on these things as well. But I really thought that size 42 felt very nice or fit very nicely on my shoulders and around my arms. I don't necessarily like it when the sweaters are very tight around the arms, even though, it does happen sometimes. And I felt that I could comfortably fit a t-shirt or something like this under this cashmere sweater. Once again, when making purchases like this, I always look on the inside of the garment to make sure that all the stitching all the knitting looks as neatly on the inside as it would on the outside, because it really speaks to the quality of a particular garment. I also like, generally speaking, how neutral it is, and I could even wear it right now with this this actually jeans from the row that I have, and I think these two colors, kind of beigey ecru colors, work together very, very well. Once again, we are going into summer, but this type of sweater I consider timeless, and therefore I do think that this is a great purchase. By the way, my name is Lisa, and I'm your guide to savvy luxury shopping no matter where in the world you are. Subscribe to my channel to learn more about smart luxury shopping with the emphasis on timelessness and quality of your items purchase. Now, the next item, as you might be able to tell from the packaging, is actually a belt from Hermès. And as you might know, with Hermès, the belt and the buckle are actually purchased separately. Now, you can only purchase the buckle separately. No, excuse me. You can always purchase the belt separately by itself, but when you're purchasing the buckle, you really do need to purchase the belt as well. And I think they just make it this way just to make sure that people don't buy just the buckle and then use it for some kind of other belts. But once you have one buckle, I could go ahead, for example, and purchase several other belts of the same dimensions to fit with the buckle. And as you maybe can see, this belt is interchangeable. So on one side it is white, and on the other side it is this just kind of beigey color. I don't remember the name of the color right now, the name of the color from Hermès, but I'm going to make sure to actually include it in the video. The buckle is palladium plated, and what I really liked here is the fact that this buckle, even though it I guess does feature an H, it is a little bit understated. It is not the regular H that everybody is used to seeing from Hermès. I have that regular H buckle as well. And to be honest, over the last maybe year or so, I really started wearing it less and less and less because I really see it everywhere. But I feel this particular buckle is just a little bit less common. And the reason that I got this particular belt is actually to complement a dress, which I also bought from Spring-Summer 2024 collection. So I'm going to show you the dress in a little bit. A quick note, the belt, and I'm going to illustrate this when I try some of these things on, but the belt is actually size 75, so it really only fits around my waist, I would say. It would make this belt slightly less versatile. I was buying it specifically for the dress, specifically to make sure it fits around the waist, but I'm thinking when I'm gonna buy another belt or two for this buckle, I'm actually gonna go with longer length. I usually buy 85 centimeter belts, to make sure that they also can fit around my hips. And again, with Hermès belts, you do have a couple of pouches, one that comes with the buckle itself, and the other one that actually, comes for the belt itself, which I always think is also a very nice touch. I will put up the price for the buckle and for the belt here on the screen. I actually don't remember it right away, but this was a little bit of a last-minute purchase, because, as I said, specifically over the dress that I purchased this for. All right, and now on to the dress. So maybe you guessed just by looking at the belt itself, but I decided to go ahead and purchase this silk dress from Hermès. I will include once again some footage as I actually style this dress. But this particular dress is in fact made in Italy, and I purchased size 38, which is my regular size. So I would say that this dress really fits true to size. Once again, it's very classic in nature, and I think I'm going to be able to wear it really for years to come. It is 100% silk, so it feels very nice on the body. It is a natural, breathable fabric, which makes it very much summer appropriate. But because of the colors themselves, I can actually also see that I could wear this dress you know, in the spring, but also in the fall, and obviously depending on weather conditions, maybe even in the winter. Now, an interesting touch, you know, the dress itself has a belt, and the size is actually also indicated on the belt. It's size 38, which makes me think that, you know, Hermes just really makes, you know, specific items specific to the size. So the belt has to be adjusted to the dress as well. I will include some close-up shots of the dress also. But again, when it comes to stitching, especially stitching on silk, I like to make sure to inspect the items very, very closely, because with silk being the fabric that it is, on a cheaper garment, you would see that the stitching is just not as straight and maybe not as precise as it could be otherwise. And when I buy items from luxury brands like Hermes, I want to make sure to check out the inside to actually ensure that the stitching is done very well. Also, silk can fray, so you want to make sure that all the ends of all the seams are actually hidden and secured appropriately, so that if something frays on the inside of the dress, you know, the seam itself actually doesn't fall apart. So thus far, you know, just by looking at it, I haven't worn this dress yet, but thus far I'm very, very happy with the quality of this dress. Now, as you might have guessed, another item that I picked up from this Spring Summer 24 collection is actually this denim skirt. I spent so much time trying it on in the boutique, and you could probably guess that this was one of my favorite items. It has the shandong detail in Rouge de Touraine color, which I think is very kind of understated, but very much Hermes, quite essential Hermes print, Hermes detail. I think it makes the skirt really quite unique. But at the same time, unless you actually know a little bit more about Hermes as a brand, you might not recognize that this skirt is from Hermes. The skirt comes with palladium plated plated, you know, details as in buttons and the zipper, which obviously adds an additional dimension of quality. This particular skirt is actually made in Italy, right? So once again, different Hermes items are made in different countries, and it is size 38, which is usually the regular size that I wear, size 38 French. Once again, I will include the pricing on the screen. What I also liked about the skirt is just the proportions themselves. I think when it comes to the waistline, the width of the hip, and the length of the skirt itself, these are really perfect proportions for a skirt of this nature, right? It's not the tiny mini skirts that we have been seeing recently, which, you know, it's great if some people can wear them. I unfortunately can't. I feel much more comfortable in a skirt like this, and I feel that this particular proportions just look very, very, very nice on my body. You have the kind of leather Hermes Paris plaque in the back here, and the skirt is actually, I will try to show it close up as well. The skirt is actually semi-lined, specifically kind of at the back area here, which I think could be nice because this is the area that could get a little bit dirty on the inside, just like from wearing, you know, in the summer, maybe sweating a little bit. So I think this partial lining is just a very nice additional detail and also mark of quality, right? You know, when we see items that are actually lined, either fully or partially, depending on the nature of the item, it always shows that there was an additional step or several steps that actually went into putting the item together. And this obviously does contribute to the overall quality, but then potentially to the associated cost as well. Another item that I want to share, and I haven't really featured this in my previous video, but I did pick up a scarf from Hermes. This is my first scarf, actually, from this particular luxury brand. I very much like silk scarves because I feel that they can elevate any outfit. They can be a very interesting pop of color, and they can actually add really something special to what we are wearing. And I picked up a scarf in this kind of dark blue color combination. And specifically, I did this to actually make sure that the scarf goes with a pair of shoes that I have, as well as a belt from Hermes that I have, the belt with the H buckle. So just kind of felt like it would be nice to match the scarf to the belt. Not a big deal, but with my OCD, I think this is something that I actually really pay a lot of attention to. So I will also include some footage of the scarf, maybe some styling of the scarf. But for me, investing in silk, investing in Hermes silk is just always a very good idea because the scarves are also very versatile. You see a lot of videos on YouTube about people actually styling them as tops, especially for the summertime. I might try to do something like this summer. I will let you know how it goes. I've actually never done it, but I just really like wearing scarves around my neck as well, because they elevate any outfit. And because it is silk, it is a very breathable material, which once again do not make me overheat or anything like this. So again, depending on your preferences when it comes to color and styles, I think a silk scarf from Hermes or any other brand, you know, is always a very, very good investment. And I will include some footage showing maybe an outfit or two with me using this particular scarf, and I will also include prices and details somewhere here on the screen as well. All right, and we got a couple of more items actually. I haven't yet looked at a couple of Twillies that I got from Hermes. Actually, before this particular trip, I didn't have any Twillies at all from any brand. But I scratched the handle of one of my handbags, Givenchy Antigona, and I decided that I'm going to go ahead and actually get two matching Twillies, to go on those handles just to protect them a little bit. The bag itself is really light beige color, so I felt like, you know, those handles would need some protection. So I'm sure you've seen some Hermes Twillies before, but this is the one that I chose. I will also include some of the close-ups. This is from the new collection. It includes a lot of animals, horses, as well as bunnies, rabbits, which I thought was just really funny. You could actually spend a lot of time, and as I'm doing right now, looking at the details of this Twilly, because they're really, really entertaining. Obviously, I thought, you know, I'm not going to be able to see any of these details when I put the Twilly actually on the bag. But by itself, I just think this is very cute, for lack of a better word. Very fun element. I would not wear something like this, right? I wouldn't wear a top or a sweater that had a bunch of rabbits on it. It's just not my style. But if it's a Twilly that I can put in a handbag, why not? So I bought two Twillies with the rabbits, just like you saw. And then I got another Twilly that is a little bit more kind of beigey red color, well, a little bit of red, a lot of beige, you know, some black. I feel that this particular Twilly is just much more traditional looking, let's say, much more classic looking. And I actually got this for another handbag, and that's the handbag that I also got at Hermes during this trip, and during my shopping at the Hermes boutique in Istanbul airport. Now, I will unbox the bag in the next video that I'm going to film. What I'm going to say this though is when I see people oftentimes coming into a boutique, specifically at the airport, asking if they actually have any bags on sale, I oftentimes hear sale associates saying that no, there are actually no bags on sale. But again, just like with everything else at Hermes, if you become a client, if you spend a little bit of money, if you buy a few things, you end up offered a bag. So I'm very excited because the bag that I purchased on this particular trip or during this shopping is actually my first bag from Hermes. So it is an interesting experience. I want to see how it wears and tears and how I get on with the bag. And please keep an eye on this channel because I'm going to show you the bag in the next video. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.